Hello, this is Rich Dad. Bitcoin has been showing good movement since the interest rate cut. Will the real bull market begin in October? Will altcoins rise along with it? I'm sure you're curious about these aspects, so let's dive into them in today's video. Let's get started. Just a month ago, market sentiment was filled with fear and many investors hesitated to buy as prices repeatedly rose and fell during the long consolidation period. Now, investors who had been watching from the sidelines are starting to jump in, pushing the sentiment index into greed territory. In my previous videos, I consistently mentioned that fear zones could be great buying opportunities, and that as we approach the end of the year, we would see the fruits of those investments. I'm glad to see that positive movement is starting to show. Let's first check the current market flow. Here's the Bitcoin 4-hour chart. Bitcoin broke through the 62K level and has been holding the blue supply zone, forming a blue ascending triangle pattern. It has been moving along the path I outlined in my previous briefings. Looking at the current Ichimoku cloud and the moving averages structure, the market shows a very bullish pattern. Given this formation, I believe there is a strong possibility that Bitcoin will maintain its upward trend. Looking at the Bitcoin spot ETF inflows, in August, the market sentiment wasn't great, and we saw continuous outflows. However, the spot ETF inflows hit a low on September 5th, and since then, led by BlackRock and Fidelity, the steady increase in inflows shows that market sentiment is reviving. And one of the biggest events of the year, the US presidential election, is just around the corner. As we approach the final stretch, both Trump and Harris are making their final push. Trump is showing his strong support for Bitcoin in this election through his actions. Last week, he became the first president to buy a hamburger with Bitcoin at a bar in NYC, demonstrating that he holds Bitcoin. He even made a performance stating, "If you're investing in crypto, you should vote for me." Trump's actions seem to be aimed at reinforcing how serious he is about Bitcoin to the voters. Trump has also been posting on Twitter about how Kamala, after becoming vice president, along with Biden, has made the US economy suffer. He pointed out that inflation costs per household have increased across US, emphasizing how much the cost of living has risen, while continuously delivering the message that only by electing him can the US economy recover. But looking at the actual data, it does seem like the middle-class economy has struggled quite a bit over the past 3 years. According to Polymarket data, the difference in support between Trump and Kamala is just 1%. A 1% to 2% margin can easily be overturned, and to defend against Trump's attacks, Harris will have to try everything she can. With the pressure mounting, Harris announced at a Wall Street fundraising event that she would both protect consumers and encourage the cryptocurrency industry. She had maintained a neutral stance until now, but with less than 2 months left until the election, it seems she decided that staying neutral on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is no longer the best strategy if she wants to decisively beat Trump and gather more votes. This statement shifted the narrative from Trump is the only option to Harris might also be acceptable. Of course, some argue that Harris's support for cryptocurrency resembles the stance President Joe Biden took early in his term. This is because her statement seems intentionally broad. However, since this is her first public statement on the matter after the election, I personally see it as a clear positive shift compared to before. Despite China's ban on Bitcoin mining and cryptocurrency trading, crypto brokers have raised $75 million this year. How did they manage to raise this? By actively engaging in over-the-counter OTC trades. While $75 million may not significantly impact the current crypto market size, if China's regulations persist, this number is expected to grow. One of the reasons for China's ban on Bitcoin mining and crypto is to prevent crime and money laundering, but it has been pointed out that due to the borderless nature of the crypto industry, these efforts are not working as intended. Originally, China banned Bitcoin mining and cryptocurrency trading to maintain control over its economic and financial systems. As you may know, China is a communist country. In communist countries, they tend to want control over everything. However, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are assets that China cannot fully control. As a result, they inevitably clash with China's traditional financial system, leading the government to ban them rather than attempting to accommodate them. But as shown in the earlier article, transactions are happening in various ways, and the scale is growing, which makes it uncertain whether time will flow in China's favor simply by keeping the ban in place. The opinion that China might lift the ban on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency continues to circulate, and as the saying goes, where there's smoke, there's fire. I don't believe talk about lifting the cryptocurrency ban would emerge without any movement or discussion from within China. So, what if China really lifts the cryptocurrency ban in Q4? The liquidity injection from China starting next month could significantly flow into the cryptocurrency market. With the first US interest rate cut in 4 years, China is also starting to take action. According to reports, China plans to further lower the reserve requirement ratio by 25 to 50 basis points by the end of the year and has announced that it will inject 1 trillion yuan of liquidity. What does it mean when they say they are lowering the reserve requirement by 0.5%? to provide long-term liquidity to the market, reducing the funds that the bank is required to hold and releasing that amount into the market. Although China halted Bitcoin mining and cryptocurrency trading, it's evident from the charts that Bitcoin prices often surged when China implemented economic stimulus measures during the COVID period. Looking back at the COVID pandemic, when liquidity increased, Bitcoin prices saw a significant rise. Conversely, when prices dropped, liquidity also decreased. With the current economic stimulus policies, it's likely we will see another increase in liquidity. Of course, this rise in liquidity hasn't been able to reverse bear markets. However, it's clear that China's liquidity policies have served as a strong trigger right before bull markets began. If you feel like we're really approaching the bull market, I would appreciate it if you could hit the subscribe and like buttons with a smile. Additionally, money that has nowhere to go, MMF, is at an all-time high. What is an MMF, money market fund? An MF is a short-term financial investment product that offers high liquidity and safety, though with relatively low returns. The fact that liquidity is flowing into MMFs indicates that investors are increasing their cash holdings, effectively loading their guns. In simple terms, it's cash that's ready to be deployed at any moment. In the past, during the dot-com bubble and the subprime mortgage crisis, economic downturns coincided with declines in MMF deposits, cash usage, which marked the market bottom. Afterward, a bull market began in the stock market. Similarly, after MF funds surged in 2019, a significant portion flowed into Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market, fueling massive price increases. Global liquidity recently dipped into negative territory, but it's now starting to rise again. The last time global liquidity surged to an all-time high was during the 2019-2020 COVID-19 pandemic. As global liquidity spiked, Bitcoin also hit new all-time highs, and the cryptocurrency market experienced a massive rally. Let's take a look at the correlation between Bitcoin and global M2 liquidity. Global liquidity has been found to have the closest relationship with Bitcoin among all assets. The correlation stands at an impressive 83.2%. Let's compare the yearly changes in Bitcoin and global M2 money supply. The orange color represents the percentage increase in Bitcoin's price year over year, while the red section below shows when Bitcoin's price dropped. The blue represents the global M2 money supply. You can see from the chart that when M2 money supply increased, Bitcoin also saw significant gains. And when it decreased, Bitcoin's price followed suit. As M2 money supply starts to rise again, we can anticipate even more liquidity injections in the near future. This increase in liquidity could potentially lead to a bull market in the cryptocurrency space, particularly for Bitcoin. The market cap of stablecoins is currently reaching new all-time highs. An increase in the market cap of stablecoins can directly contribute to greater liquidity in the crypto market. This liquidity can serve as buying pressure, providing the necessary fuel for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies to rise in value. The chart you're looking at simply shows how much Bitcoin's volatility has changed recently. There have been 5 instances, excluding the present, when volatility reached its lowest, and each time it preceded a significant rally. Until we break out of this low volatility zone, the market may remain dull. However, if history is any guide, those who patiently waited during these long, frustrating consolidation periods ended up making substantial profits. We are seeing the first signs of an increase in open interest. Although a sharp rise in open interest can lead to selling pressure, during bull markets, open interest tends to increase significantly alongside rising prices. In previous cycles, when Bitcoin hit new all-time highs, we also saw a surge in both prices and open interest. Thus, the increase in open interest can be seen as a signal that we are on the path toward a bull market. Additionally, short-term holders, STH, are seeing an increase in unrealized gains. The fact that the unrealized profit-loss ratio for STH has turned positive indicates a shift in investor sentiment. This suggests that investors are now anticipating a potential bull market ahead. Additionally, long-term Bitcoin holders have accumulated more Bitcoin in the past 2 months than at any point over the last 3 years. It seems that these long-term holders have already positioned themselves in anticipation of the upcoming bull market. Stage 1, which started at the end of last year and continued through early this year, appears to have concluded, and now Stage 2 is about to begin. This makes October a month to look forward to even more. Lastly, let's briefly touch on altcoins before wrapping up. The chart you're looking at is the alt season index. I've mentioned multiple times that accumulating during the lower range of this index is a great opportunity, and those who have done so are now seeing good profits. Many people in my community and group chats have shared that they're making great returns. It seems that the alt season index has broken out of a long downtrend, and we can say that the altcoin market is gaining momentum. This is the weekly chart of Total 3, which excludes Bitcoin, and Ethereum's market capitalization. We can see that the bull flag pattern, a bullish continuation pattern, has been confirmed in Total 3. A bull flag pattern typically features a strong initial rise, followed by consolidation, and then another rise equal to the length of the original flagpole. Given the extended consolidation period, it suggests that a significant altcoin rally could be on the horizon. If you've been keeping an eye on certain altcoins, now might be a good time to consider adding them to your portfolio. I'll summarize today's video. The US presidential election is just around the corner. With Harris now openly supporting cryptocurrencies in public forums regardless of who wins, the situation looks favorable for Bitcoin and the crypto market. China is preparing for a massive liquidity injection after 4 years. Just like in previous bull markets, Chinese liquidity has provided a significant boost to Bitcoin, so we can expect the same this time. Looking at open interest, short-term holder profits, and long-term Bitcoin accumulation, it's clear that the bull market is on the horizon. The altcoin market is emerging. For those who have held onto altcoins and endured challenging times, now is the time to anticipate profits and welcome Q4 with excitement. Warren Buffett, the legendary investor, once said, "The success of stock investing does not depend on secret formulas or computer programs or on signals sent by individual stock prices or the market. Rather, it depends on not being swayed by the highly contagious emotions of the stock market, having a clear mindset and behavior, and investors with good judgment will succeed." I hope you achieve great profits in the upcoming bull market. Thank you.